Good morning on this Friday the 3rd. This is the third day of 14. The third day of 2014. And I am thinking today about some things. And what will your mind be set on today? Because the mindset has a lot to do with how one reacts to things every day. The mindset. This is 2014. And a friend of mine that I have met has really been noticing some 14s, some 4s, 14, 44, 444. But anyway, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking about 14s. But there were 14 generations between, and there were 14 generations between, and there were 14 generations between. So I can assure you that 14 is a number that could be noticed as are other numbers. 10 is a number. 40 is a number. 3 is a number. 1 is also a number. There are numbers, and there are a lot of numbers. Who can number the days? No man can number the days. A man can put a number on a day. But as far as numbering the days, a man cannot number the days. God numbers things. And God does a lot of things. We are in a year that will determine a lot. How well you heed instructions will determine how long you live. Now you say, well, how can that be? Well, the first promise that God made was if you desire long life and see good days, that you should do and live a certain way. Now, many today are living in a way that does not please God. And the devil does not have, control of all the days. Now, he may be ruling the nations, and he may be deceiving the elect. But there's one thing for sure. An angel will get him and bind him and put him away for 1,000 years. Now, what happens between now and then is yet to be seen, but it will come to pass. Yes, it will. How many people have been deceived by a false gospel? And the false gospel that I'm talking about is the one that says you can do what you like to do. God loves you so much, he would never put you in hell or in a lake of fire. That is a lie of the devil. Jesus of Nazareth was a man. He has not changed since being resurrected from the dead. Jesus of Nazareth is the same man that was crucified. And he was crucified years ago. I have heard and seen that God has tested men from the beginning. Adam was tested. Eve was tested. Cain was tested. Abel was tested. And there has not been a man that has lived on the earth that has not been tested. And we are being tested. Who is testing us? God created us, and God can test us. And we are being tested. Many people today are not following instructions. Oh, I better not say it that way. All people today are following instructions. It is the instructor that differs. The instructor, the one who sows the bad seed and plants, is the devil. And he has planted and is planting every day. He is sowing seeds. He won't stop until he is put away. And I wish I could put him away, but I can't. Jesus was a man. He was born by a woman, and he grew in favor with God and man. So God was at work in this man. And if we are to be like him, then we should believe what he said. Now, how can you be like him if you do not believe what he said? You can't, and I can't. So what must we believe? We should believe what he said. We should not believe what the devil says to us about him. God said, "This is my son." God does not lie. Many preachers have lied, and many preachers have died. And not one of them has gotten away with anything, because God does not let men get away with things. Are you going to be led by the Spirit of God, the same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead? Or are you going to be held captive by the devil and do his will in the year of 14? that will be determined by us as to whose will we do. I have determined to do God's will because the rewards are very great when people do the will of God. And the will of God will not lead anyone to sin. So I will say at the end of this message what an apostle said years ago. If you expect to win, lay aside the sin, because you can be disqualified. Yep. And disqualification in this race does not have a good place of rest at the end. So what are you going to do today? What you do today will affect tomorrow. And I don't know how many tomorrows there will be. But anyway, this was another 12-minute deal. Pretty close to 12 minutes. Yeah, I got a timer right there. I can see it. And I will end with that. It's over.